So here's another. I was actually thinking about this all day today, and then I just read a note that I wrote earlier, and I just want to share this idea with you. So maybe you guys have heard this was happening a few months ago when Kanye West was making all those like quote unquote anti Semitic remarks. The Jewish community really clapped back. Everyone stood up. They talked very seriously about like racism and anti Jewish sentiment. Now, I actually understand people wanting to like step up and advocate for anti Semitism because the Holocaust was real. And this is a very brief overview of what the Holocaust was, but the Holocaust was basically Aryan German people deciding that they wanted land and resources for Aryan German people only, and they wanted to get rid of the Jewish defective people in their community. That's basically how they defined it. So the community that was unwanted were the Jews, right? And we can describe them in all of these ways. A lot of Aryan people did not consider Jewish people white. I don't know how to racially classify them. Judaism is a religion, but Jews have been prosecuted all over planet Earth for a very long time, and I'm not a world history buff, so I'm not gonna like really go into that more. If you care to learn more about world religion, go study that for yourself. But think about this. Okay, so putting Jewish people in literal ovens and burning them to death, not a good thing. That's a pretty shitty part of human history. Like, that was pretty foul. That was pretty awful. And I feel like we can probably all agree on that. Like, putting somebody in an oven, that's actually nuts. But also, American chattel slavery, pretty fucking nuts. Like, it was brutal. And that happened in America. And here we are in America. I'm sitting in America right now. Fun fact, the United States paid something called dun, 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 reparations, which is just like money, to Jewish people in America for the Holocaust, which happened in Germany. The U.S. government has never given any money to the descendants of American chattel slavery, which is an atrocity that happened in America. So let's just run that back one time. So, like, Jewish people from Germany got American dollars for a Jewish atrocity that happened in Germany. Black American people who were born in America or like stolen from Africa and brought to America to work the land for free for hundreds of years, who were whipped, who had their children murdered and beaten, who were women were raped, all type of shit. There was actually an entire like racialized society called Jim Crow. All of that happened here, and no black people got a dime, not a penny. Actually, not even an apology until last year. So, just want to introduce priorities here because we're talking about access and privilege and affirmative action being rolled back in America. So the question that I want to pose here is like, how do American parents talk to their students, their children in America about American history, especially on days like today, like the 4th of July, when all of that is real and like in people's classrooms, all over the news, all over media, right? The sports teams, like black people are here in their companies, in their jobs, in their neighborhoods now. Black people are they're everywhere. How do you teach American history? How? Because I really feel like there's unfortunately like there's a lot of white students in America like who have not never learned American history. We're not even talking about like world history is interesting too, and we could go there, but like clearly people are celebrating the 4th of July and just not really understanding like the founding fathers and like how shit really went down. Like there's a lot of like revisionist history where people are telling stories that just like are not the full story. Like yes, we have freedom here. We do. People are free now. But the way that we got here was pretty fucked up. Like pretty fucked up. I guess there's something to think about. Because like poor black kids are not learning American history at all. They aren't learning anything. When they go to school, it's just like a babysitting. It's babysitting, right? They're just going so that they're like waiting to go to jail. That's what's happening in the poor communities of color. Now in the white communities, they're like preparing to go to work. What the work is, I don't know. We have technology now, so I'm not really sure what people are. There's consulting firms who are consulting with people to build better technology to make the society better, but unless you're like going to be like a doctor to like save a life, or maybe like being a therapist could be useful because like yes, a lot of people are just like emotionally fucked up. Also, I feel like we could probably use a lot more black female sociologists, people who just like can start to contextualize what the hell is happening in society. Like we need a lot more bell hooks out here, people who can just like explain shit that's happening for like black women or other, women of color who are now here and are just trying to make sense of shit. Um, but yeah, it's interesting, and I wonder what you think. Like, how did you learn American history? Do you know American history? I don't know.